There's so much to like about the undeniable sound of Right Now by Laura Eason at the Raven Theater in Edgewater. This play is a snapshot of one of the many evolutionary changes that's inevitable in a growing and vibrant city. Set in the fall of 1992, Hank, played by Jeff Mills, is the owner of a Chicago dive bar / live music venue, and is in the autumn of his career and in the midst of evolving musical tastes and gentrification that threaten everything he has built. Hank has two great loves, live music and his 21-year-old daughter Lena, played by Lindsay Stock, who grew up above the club and shares her dad's enthusiasm for music, but is anxious to expand her own horizons to include the emerging style of house, a genre of electronic dance music of the era created in Chicago that features DJs as the curators of the musical experience. Hank is a traditionalist who feels that DJs are not musicians, and that electronic music is in opposition to the live music he's championed for 25 years. Thus, the conflict is established. This is Reno Lovison, executive producer at ChicagoBroadcastingNetwork.com and theater reviewer for ChicagoTheatreandArts.com. If you're looking for video production for your business or organization, check out RenoWeb.net. If you're interested in making music of your own, visit the LakeshoreMusicStudio.com to learn about piano lessons for all ages, or call 312-335-8426. That's the Lakeshore Music Studio, conveniently serving the Gold Coast, Old Town, Lincoln Park areas. Stand by to hear the rest of our review of the undeniable sound of Right Now, after 30 seconds of our theme song, Foster Avenue Beach, by Scatterplot.
Yes, I took it to me. Well, the wind was picking up all day, oh yeah. It got me to the liquor store. Yesterday with the sun, all the 1544.
The undeniable sound of Right Now is played out in the confines of a neighborhood tavern that, like its owner, is definitely showing its wear. The set design is reminiscent of the many neighborhood watering holes that once dotted the Chicago map from north to south in this working-class city that in the earlier half of the 20th century boasted 10,000 shot-in-a-beer joints. Most have closed or have been converted to fern bars and pubs. Those that survived, like Hank's, are loved to death by countless elbows, decorated through neglect, and illuminated with the ever-present twinkling strand or two of Christmas lights. These establishments retain and reflect a bit of each of the individuals and groups that made this particular venue their social hub. And Hank's clientele have indeed left their unique mark on this location. But neighborhoods, music, and people change. And we're all forced to face the changes that are an inevitable part of growing up and growing older. What is undeniable is the here and now and the sound it makes. Hank has little patience for nostalgia and no stomach for being viewed as a legend. The question is, how do you confront the end of an era? Having spent the better part of my own working life involved in marketing and business promotion, I have known a lot of guys like Hank. It's difficult to pass the reins to a new generation or create a succession plan when you feel you still have a lot of fight left and you're anxious to stay in the game. Gentrification is also an important topic in any large urban city, and Chicago is no exception. My wife and I personally pioneered the Armitage Avenue and Halsted Street area, only to have her 20-year business eventually displaced by a national corporation anxious to capitalize on the now affluent market. The story also involves non-traditional family relationships and various forms of love and lust, which in this case include Hank's longtime, off-again, on-again, salt-of-the-earth girlfriend Betty, played with tender firmness by Dana Black. Betty is Hank's soft place to land, and accepted the role of surrogate mother in the absence of Lena's birth mother. It's clear the two women have a true affection for each other, which was all the more poignant on the Mother's Day performance I attended. I felt Lindsay Stock was spot on and perfectly embodied the role of Lena, who is smart, savvy, and charismatic. It's no wonder that she's adored by her parents and sought after by the moony-eyed club manager Toby, Joey the landlord's son, and Nash the up-and-coming DJ, who each are vying in one way or another for her attention. You can see the names of all the players of this outstanding ensemble at my printed review at ChicagoTheatreandArts.com. Playwright Laura Eason has done a terrific job of juggling a number of ideas, yet pulling it all together into one well-crafted, unified whole. She understands Hank's reluctance to turn over the reins, while effectively advocating for the youthful exuberance of Nash and Lena. Meanwhile, the supporting roles of Betty, Toby, and Joey are fully fleshed characters with their own important contributions to the plot line. The dialogue comes across as real and at times emotional without becoming saccharine. When I don't know too much about a play, I try to keep it that way until I see it. The undeniable sound of Right Now was surprisingly different than what I had expected. I thought it was going to be more of a jukebox musical. It does have some recorded music as background, as well as a few short riffs and verses admirably played on guitar by Jeff Mills, at the direction of sound designer Lindsey Jones. Music is integral to the story, but it's not a musical. If you're afraid that the indie rock music scene is not a genre that you understand or enjoy, don't let this dissuade you. The theme of the story is universal, and the musical references are incidental. This can be any time period and any intergenerational conflict. I predict this production may be deemed Jeff-worthy, with special recognition of Lindsay Stock for her authentic portrayal of Lena. Don't miss this one. If you have experience with an aging business owner or a music maker or someone affected by change that they feared or were reluctant to face, this will likely resonate with you, as it did with me. The undeniable sound of Right Now is at the Raven Theater, 6157 North Clark Street, Chicago, through June 16, 2019. Running time is 90 minutes with no intermission. For tickets and information, visit raventheater.com or call 773-338-2177. This is Reno Lovison, the executive producer at ChicagoBroadcastingNetwork.com. Again, if you're looking for video for your business or organization, check out renoweb.net. And also take a look at thelakeshoremusicstudio.com, providing piano lessons for all ages. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Spotomatic, iTunes, or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. You can always find us at ChicagoBroadcastingNetwork.com. Thanks again to Scatterplot for the use of Foster Avenue Beach as our theme song.
That's okay.